I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack. 4 of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for
Scotty. Who's Scotty?
Well, legends, today we're just going to get smack into it. Day 1.
Right, so that's right, coming to Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby. Just spotted my travel companion, Craig Taylor, right there.
Vancouver, down to Vegas, dreamed.
So here we are at the Llama Ride, which is actually going to be the event for Eastgate Con.
Right, so we are out with just basically a local ride. We're out here in the middle of the desert.
Nevada desert, like
A tiny little taste of what's coming up.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the global. What do we call this? I forgot the name already. What are we? The global shred squad. There we go. 4, 5 corners of the globe. Toodaloo, mother effers.
What's
What's up, guys?
Great edit.
What's
man.
going on? You got to start
Hey,
with a
boys.
bit of a bang.
That was incredible. That's my highlight of the
way
whole
too
thing.
good.
That wasn't.
All right, we're done. We're out. That was
Yeah,
so
we're done.
good.
Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a great live
that
stream.
was it. It was a great time. Watching
Um,
Craig's face coming out of that that zip line was the best thing.
I didn't even see that footage, so that's all gold. Absolute gold.
Man, I was
sheer
crapping
panic
myself.
on his face.
Craig was that scared about that zip line. He all of a sudden had an American accent.
Hey guys, welcome. Oh my God.
This is Greg. This is Greg Taylor.
This is Greg Taylor.
Gregory Taylor.
All right, all right, guys.
so
So really quickly, thank you so much for the Wolfpack for joining me. What do I want to talk about? So this is basically a really quick update. We want to talk about, really touch on Eastgate Con quickly. I know we've all gone on about it, and I don't want to become an old record, or what is it, overplayed record. But it was one of those things that really did. It's been the highlight of, I guess, my Eastgate thing, and I think it was for a lot of the guys as well. So we'll touch on that, have a couple of little stories, and then I want to talk about what's coming up in the future. So there's a whole heap of new boards about to get released, a whole lot of new technology coming out, and I just want to use these guys, Tom, Drew, Greg, and we've got a couple of guests coming on. I keep saying Greg because all the Americans call Craig Greg. And basically, yeah, just have a chit chat. This might become a monthly thing. It might become every 8 weeks. I don't know, depending on how often new stuff comes out. But we've got the comments going. If you've got any questions, chuck them in there. We're going to answer them as best we can. And yeah, that's it. That's, I guess, the agenda if we want to have an agenda and try to stick to it. So jumping straight into it, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning or tonight. What's the time where everyone is? What's the time, Drew?
6 p.m. East Coast time.
Oh, easy. Thomas, what's it, like 11?
Yeah, we're on 8 a.m. I think in the
UK.
morning. What is it, Thomas?
11 p.m. UK, which isn't too bad, to be fair.
That's not bad.
I'm guilty for a
Not too bad at all.
Yeah.
Not too bad
nighttime
at all.
Eastgate
Not
update
too
on
bad.
YouTube anyway. So there's always
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
out
not
there
too
UK
bad.
demographic.
And Craig, you're the same as me, right? It's 8 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my light. I look like I'm a glowing beacon of hope.
You are
It's an
glowing
obsessive-
beacon of hope.
It's
You
an
are.
obsessive
You
thing
are.
about making sure everyone's rig is nice, wasn't it?
All right, so really
Morning,
quickly,
O'Connell.
Eastgate Con 23 is over and dusted, and we're all, rewatching the videos and stuff like that. What do you got? What was your guys like? If you could sum it up in a couple of words, how would you each sum up Eastgate Con? Like,
Who's going
Drew?
first?
Drew, go.
I mean, for me, it was an incredible experience for several things. I mean, I would say that one, the camaraderie that we bring to the table here. I mean, being able to talk to you guys for this entire time, And finally getting to meet face to face, it really was one of those experiences that Eastgate Con we wouldn't have been able to do that any other time, I would think. And then obviously the event itself. I mean, leading up to it, I think even just the group rides alone were absolutely epic. So I think those were a super great highlight that I hope more people next year get that time off to be able to come in and see Red Rocks, to see wetlands, see those group rides. Even the bike ride around downtown was fantastic. And I mean, Eastgate Con in general, I stepped on a track that I'd never raced before my entire life, and got my second place out of novice class. I'm pretty pumped about that. I know. Let's keep talking about it.
Go on about it. Just I mean, it's over.
Why did you shouldn't be wearing? What's the?
I know. It's actually downstairs, like mounted. Anyways, it's mounted on my wall. No big deal.
It's at the framer getting framed, right?
Perfect. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I mean that it was an absolute incredible journey. I'm sure we're all going to say the same thing, but yeah, definitely a highlight.
Thomas?
I think for me, I was thinking about this just now. It gives me a chance to really, how am I going to respond to this? I think what it was that first moment of riding repeated every day with a new experience. Yeah. And that's what it was. So everything you did, like even the trivial thing when we went out for breakfast, adventuring, find this on my tweet when we went out in the morning, the content guys, that was great. I got to ride with like some of the event guys, which is great for me. Like I said, doing this for a while now, and just that kind of respect you have of other people. And like, it's a bit weird, kind of surreal, that kind of connecting everyone together. And what's lucky with me, like I said, I've got my content guy brother-ins here. I've got my create guys. The DIY stuff I need to work on. That's only a demographic I don't work on enough, but hopefully soon. But yeah, just hanging out with some of the event guys and people that I've respected along the way, and just making it a bit more real. And what's good is it really gave you, a sense of who everyone is and what everyone do, and just made everything just we love this stuff. We talk about 24/7, and then like my missus and that has to do it 24/7, which is great. She gets into it as well, but it's like I'm surrounded by people where it's like, I could do this all day, every day for 7 days.
Yeah, totally get it. Now, Craig, before we ask you, because I think I already know your answer, we're going to bring in our first guest because it's linked to your Eastgate Con time because of the Hellcat debacle. So we'll bring in Eduardo, owner-operator of TRANZITE Boards.
Eduardo in the house.
What's up, amigo?
Good morning, good night in the UK.
Good morning, good evening, good night. That's right. Now, Eduardo is the owner and founder and everything of TRANZITE Boards, proudly made in Australia. Before we come to you, Eduardo, we'll just carry on with Craig. Now, Craig, you had a pretty amazing time in Vegas. I know because I was with you.
Look, mate, in all honesty, it started off a few weeks beforehand where everything just was going wrong, and I couldn't seem to get everything right. Full Send were doing everything they could. They built a beautiful brand new board. I got to validate and test it before it was nearly finished, and I was so stoked to have it coming. And then Transport just went pear-shaped. Now that's where the story changed for me really quickly, because I was like, well, I don't have anything to ride. What am I going to do? And I think straight away I just chit-chatting with Eduardo. Eduardo's thinking, I'm going to come. And I said, well, if you're going to come, what are you doing? It's boards, and I'm bringing them. I said, oh, okay. And he said, do you want one to ride? And I think this is where my whole Eastgate Con experience really changed fast, because I suppose the idea for me was I'm just going to go there and ride, have some fun, promo a board, and just get amongst everything.
Yep.
I think emotionally for me, my whole experience changed really quickly, because the camaraderie and the willingness for Eduardo to just reach out and say, man, I'm going to have a board there. We'll move some things around, and would you like to ride one? Take your pick. And I was like, really? You're taking boards there and you're letting me pick one of your boards to ride? Like, who are you, mate? I mean, I know Eduardo and I have known each other for a couple of years now, and he just reached out and just gave me some amazing support. And literally from Tuesday onwards, I got to ride all week on the Roadster. It was just beautiful. I mean, even Ace Deck reached out and said, guys, Craig, do you want a Stella to ride for a couple of days, or just to bang around town? And if you can't get another board, hey, try out this one. So I think for me, I went on this emotional roller coaster 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, and then that rode into Eastgate Con. And I was trying to bring this down, like the vibes are just dropping as we speak. But it was just amazing. And the Red Rock ride on that board, everything about the whole week changed my philosophy on how I feel about Eastgate Con, the environment, the people, everything. So I came back a changed person, I reckon. Yeah. I just,
nice.
The love of Eastgate just grew exponentially. You guys just made an experience, the one I'll never forget. And I'm looking forward to repeat every damn year if I can, if the wife won't kill me or have to remortgage the house to make it all happen. Who cares? We're going for it.
You can always just
thank you. Oh, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I was waiting for Eduardo. I thought, is Eduardo frozen? He's not saying anything. So in Australia, we normally say you're welcome. And so obviously we just gave Eduardo his intro. TRANZITE boards, cool dude, surfer, lives in Sydney. Eduardo, the reason I want to have you on you're an e-skater, but from a vendor's point of view. You were there, you had an awesome setup, an awesome tent. It was a very last minute. And I still think you had probably one of the nicest setups, which is surprising.
Absolutely.
How was your whole experience about, talking to Craig and I, like, I don't know, 2 weeks before, and then just deciding to go, I'm going to come and shipping boards over. And then all of a sudden we get there and we're setting up marquees. And how did that all feel? Was that surreal, or was that just like, yeah, this is just another day in the office?
No, look, Eastgate Con was definitely the event of my life. In terms of electric skateboard community, it was amazing just to be there as a vendor, meeting other brands, other business owners, meeting the community. It's almost like if I met part of my family that I didn't know yet. If that makes sense. I've been talking to all of those guys over Instagram, email, and just seeing them face to face, interacting, riding, everybody collaborating really throughout the event was quite unique. The vendor dinner drinks was really good. I got to know more personally some of the other owners, and that was great. So that opens the door for a lot of opportunities, partnerships, ideas, and for me to see what's out there. I mean, clearly all the main brands were there, a lot of innovation coming through, different systems and tracks and this, and the race was just epic. I never seen experience, and you guys were racing, so it was great to see you guys racing and doing a great performance. The whole package of the Eastgate Con and I'm also very happy I went for the whole week. I was Tuesday to Tuesday. So I was part of all the rides, the networking, the fun stuff, preparation of the event, and you get to know and meet more people. And it was just incredible. That also something that really biggest highlight for me is the scale of the Eastgate community, because here in Australia it's very small. We go on a group ride, it's maybe 10 of us, 15. Over there, rides with 500 people, 400 people, all devices. Being part of that was quite unique. So I also came back, same as Craig, probably transformed, my view of the world, what Eastgate is doing, and even more, I decided to open or start selling in the USA. So Q3, I will have some boards.
Yay. Well done.
That's happening. I have to be there. I mean, the feedback was great of people trying my boards at the Eastgate Con, and good riders, like really good riders, trying the roadster and the cross country. The feedback was awesome. So very happy with that. So yeah, USA is coming. And big thanks to you guys. I mean, everybody really, but you guys really supported me a lot. From carrying things and that tent.
We did.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there 7 a.m. putting things.
We made sure Eduardo was tucked in every night, but by 4 a.m.
Yeah. A nice little nightcap, a mint on his pillow. Some gambling at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Exactly.
I don't think anyone realized, Scott, the challenge of Friday, though. I mean, everyone was trying to set up, and there was about a 40-knot wind coming through.
40-knot, yeah.
You and I were anchoring TRANZITE's tent, and then Fabi from Onstra was there trying to make sure he didn't fly away, and sandbags were coming out everywhere for the track as they were building it. It was just
that wind on that, And the poor guys, Mike and Maddie and the whole team, Jacob and James and all the John and all the family, all walking around with little glad bags, filling them up with sand to stop the track from blowing away.
They did an amazing job. They really
like
did.
2 ton of sand in 48 hours. They had 2 ton of sand on the track, just bagged up everywhere. It was amazing.
Yeah. And just to add, the whole experience of dealing with M-boards and Mike and the guys, it was awesome. Hold on.
Very natural.
Yeah. So predictions. Sorry.
No. It was super last minute. They did really well, and to organize and have me there. Really, 2 weeks is nothing to decide this.
No, it's nice that I think it's really good that they had the facilities for people who were traveling. So Eduardo's and Fabian to hire marquees, hire sandbags. They had trestles ready for you. They had cloths. You know, it was such a nice, simple way for a vendor who has to travel by plane to still represent and do a good job.
Yeah, I agree. I think the booths were fantastic. There was a great representation on your part there for TRANZITE. I love that.
Yeah, every time I looked around, there was a TRANZITE, the cross country or the Roadster flying around the track. Someone was demoing it.
Yeah,
Roadster.
Steven's just chimed in. Have they announced the date for the next one? I've been in the back end chat already. I believe it's going to be our last weekend of March or thereabouts, because it's the weekend, I think, before Easter, maybe.
Yeah, I had a chat with them last week. They are also still looking at the first or second week of April, depending on school holidays.
School holidays, yeah.
It was all based on that Easter schedule there. So it either might be the week before Easter or possibly the week after Easter. So figure
that's right. You got it.
Mid-March or first week of April, which my birthday is April 8th. So let's go ahead and do that.
Another week in US. Oh, sorry, honey, I'm not coming home for a month.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Can you imagine that party?
Yes, no, but yes.
Yes, no. Yeah.
Dear.
Any Red Bull sponsorships out there? Any Red Bull sponsorships out there?
They weren't there. Red Bull wasn't there, unfortunately. It was who was the guys who did it? It was Amped Electric. Yeah. Man, what
an amazing job they did.
Because I was obviously not watching on the day. I went back and watched it, and I was like, this was like a legitimate broadcast. Like, the drone shots they need to work on. The drone shots are a bit cutty and a bit crappy. But as far as the commentator and the music and the scenes and the way they do everyone's, man, it was so good. It was so good.
It was, yeah.
It was
the fact that my parents would watch me race live on the East Coast and cheer me on. That was one of those things where it was definitely pretty epic. I mean, Amped Electric definitely brought it to a totally different level, and they're already talking about for next year that they're going to do a whole new thing as far as sponsorships and stuff like that. I mean, obviously it would be great if this thing could become something imagine 3 years, 2 years, whatever, maybe even 2 years down the road, where this thing is is a Red Bull sponsored event, and there is some type of almost like an F1 style format to it, where you see those standardized boards, maybe like the race style stooge boards or something like that, and have that would be incredible.
Can you imagine? That'd be pretty cool.
It would be great. It'd be great. And even a worldwide traveling series would be something epic on that sense too, where you have stops along the way. So
yeah, it would be really good to see Red Bull actually chime in and eventually, finally sponsor a skater somewhere out there. I mean,
or maybe we go for the nicer one. Maybe we go for V.
Well, yeah, maybe.
What's
just
V?
not just. Oh, you know what V is? You don't have V in America.
Is
that the green one?
The green one, yeah.
Oh, that's like in the bargain basement and stuff.
Oh, wow, V's pretty popular, yeah. All right, so let's keep it moving. Predictions for Eastgate 2024. Do you think it'll be a 3-day event? And will we get a Airbnb instead of staying in hotel rooms?
Yes.
Ooh, I'm yeah. I mean, I'm all for the Airbnb situation. That'd be pretty fun. I know Hoyt did it. We visited the Hoyt house. That was a pretty cool situation.
Yeah.
And it was a good camaraderie. It was kind of like that was a literal frat house. I mean, that was literally like a fraternity situation.
We would have to have rules. We'd have to have rules.
Yeah, there'd be quiet hours. Eduardo would have to come in and not 4:00 in the morning.
Eduardo would have his own share house, I think.
Just put a bungalow out the back for me, because I'm going to keep you guys up with snoring. So sorry.
There we go. And I think a 3-day weekend would be smart on their part. I think that spreading it out over that time frame and making like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event would be smart, because you can start hyper focusing on certain things. I guess maybe on like a Friday, and then like your qualifying times are Friday, then your race events for certain classes are on Saturday, then maybe a specific for vendors, like a specific vendor day where it's like this is all about the vendors. They release products, they have like that kind of stuff. I don't know, just like kind of spitball in there. But that would be all really cool ideas in that sense.
I think we have in Europe with the Brussels Wheelers, the EUC guys, they do like the 3-day event, but when they do on the first day, they do it like a fun day. So like mini games, like EUC. What do you call it? With like
Gymkhana?
Like jockey
jousting
stuff with the ball. Stuff like that. Yeah, just some weird crazy things like that. Because I think for me it was really good. Obviously, the racing was really good, but I feel like the first day was really good for that kind of getting everyone together and doing like all the vendor stuff, which is really great for me. Because like unfortunately, I said I got injured on the first day at Eastgate Con. But like, it was a good chance to go to the vendors and talk and stuff like that. So it's really good to have the vendor focus on maybe one of the days and then do race. I think so. That would be cool if there's a free element like that.
Back when I was a I want to call myself a bit of a nerd. I rode a Vespa, and I would belong to a Vespa club. And they actually have a thing called a gymkhana. I think it maybe comes from cars. But it was like a skill day, and I actually thought it would transfer to Eastgate really well. So the gymkhana would be like, a slalom course, and then going over a skinny ramp, or going as slow as you could around it, or do a lap around a course, and then try to get the person who gets the closest to their first time. So all these like instead of just being fast around a track, having 100-meter slalom, having like a hairpin turn, like have all these different little mini events that add on point. It's a really fun thing to do. So that could certainly be fun as well.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Double surf deck adapter guy could do. They're on the double surf deck adapter things. He'd be like crazy.
I've just started filming that actually. I've got a set of them. I know Drew does as well. I've put them on the what are they called? The
waterborne surf adapters.
Waterborne, thank you. Waterborne. I put them on the Meepo Mini 5.
What?
I'm putting on mine as well too.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
It'll be about 3 or 4 inches taller than it should.
It is. You hop on it. If you don't have good balance, you hop on it, and it just goes gunk.
Can I throw a question in there, just because I wanted to really highlight this? Who are your heroes from Eastgate Con? Like in relation to people that really just impressed you. You know what I mean? Like kind of impressed you with their skill. I'm not going to take it away from mine, but if it doesn't get mentioned, I'm going to mention it. But like certain people that just blew you away. It doesn't need to be fast, but I don't know, them as a person, what skills they saw, things like that really blew me away.
I honestly, I'm going to jump right in. James from M Boards.
Oh yeah. 100%. James, hands down.
Yeah. He's been chatting with me for ages, and I just a really nice guy. And when I met up with him first off, he was just such an engaging bloke. But then we got out and did Red Rocks, and he's like just standing up, just rolling and just floating through just bombing it. Then he gets on the racetrack, and he is just a monster.
Flying.
And it's like,
he qualified for pro, didn't he? Didn't he hit pro?
Yeah, he made
on
pro.
The standard board. Yeah. That's the one thing on the endurance. The standard endurance board.
So from a human being perspective, he really was amazing, and from a rider perspective, same. And the other one was Silent Ghost Reaper.
Yeah.
And what a top guy! Like just really nice bloke. He straight up
silent assassin.
Yeah, he is. But we met up in M Boards the first day we were sort of wandering around there, and he's come straight up to me. He's gone, "Craig, how you going?" And I'm like, "I got no idea who you are." I've never seen his face before, and he's always got a helmet on. And he even had a face mask on, and trying to figure out who you are. And then he's like, "Oh," and then someone said, "Oh, it's Silent Ghost Reaper." And I was like, "Man," I looked on it. "Man, I'm following you. Man, you're massive." And I hadn't really put the 2 and 2 together. It didn't click, but riding, reaching out, I wanted to get my rider's bag, and he's like, "Man, I'm sponsored. If you can't get one, I'll try and organize for you to buy one later." And he was just a really nice guy, and connected beautifully, and such a good rider too on the own board. So, those two guys, just their camaraderie, their friendship, and everything outside of obviously the Wolfpack were bloody awesome. Yeah.
Did you know that Saint Rico actually busted his feet?
Yeah.
The last few days at Eastgate Con.
He crashed. He crashed on the track during just pre-qualifying on the same spot I did.
Oh,
so around the back straight when you come into that right hander again.
Turn? Yeah,
that's right. I went as well.
He took a lot of people out.
Yeah, he gunned it into there, and so did I. And we literally within the same hay bale we climbed into. So I ended up. I've got a slight hair fracture or something in my heel. Apparently, it's got a few more weeks to heal. And I think he did the same thing. So, he wasn't happy, but he just went back out and raced and just didn't care. We went for it. So hats off.
Do you know the original track was not supposed to have that last back end turn? That was supposed to be a straightaway.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Could you imagine those guys? Like, they're gonna hit 45 miles an hour, like the pros, like the Stooge race boards. Like that slowed it down tremendously at that time frame. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, wow, I'm like, look at that track. I'm like, that whole back end was supposed to be a flat out straightaway. I'm like, that would have killed people.
Way too fast.
into that steel. They put the gate up there. They put the gate on the other side. I'm like, people would have been in that thing tenfold, 100%.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, no.
For Thomas's question, I've got mine. I know Thomas has got hers. I'll tell you mine, Thomas. Mine, I can't pronounce this guy's surname. It was James Tatuus.
Yes.
Tatius.
Yes. Yeah.
Tall guy riding the bound motor with the 3-link.
Yes.
Awesome.
His ride style, but his race style, but also the fact that he drove that RC car down the Vegas Strip while sitting on, probably 20, 15 mile an hour, controlling the board, controlling the car, and steering the car. And he didn't once have an accident.
And hundreds of riders around him as well.
Hundreds of riders around him.
Was like drifting around other riders. Like that's the best part about that too.
Yeah.
Oh, that to me was that was the moment where I go, I struggle to do, that one. This guy's skateboarding around 100 people, controlling a car and carving and having fun, and insane. That was my one for me.
Yeah, my one was definitely James as well. Just absolute inspiration, and I need to learn that at some point. It's just absolutely inspiring. And the other one, who we know, who doesn't want to be named, is the EUC guy who did featured on our channels. Seeing this guy flying down the
we can't name him, right? We don't know his name.
No.
That was anonymous.
I just saw him in the background, and then airdropped this footage. I don't know where
we're calling that phenomenous.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that was incredible. Those two, and obviously with James's hospitality. Yeah, James Titus, absolutely amazingly talented.
Yeah, I must admit, afterwards I went back and started looking at all of James's footage. It was just like I've got to know who this person is and know more. So, amazing.
My one other person was and I can't remember the guy's name. The guy on the summer board. Do you guys remember that kid?
Yeah.
The one that was like doing 360s at like 40 miles an hour.
Or what's his name?
Fabi and I were actually bombing down the strip, and he came flying through an intersection on Reds, and literally got so close to getting taken out by a taxi. It missed him by like a meter or something. He was like, "Oh no!" And Fabi and I were like hard on the brakes.
Yeah. Was I with you, Joe, when we were sending it down the Vegas Strip, and I went, "What is this?" It's doing like this 360 spinning.
He was 360, and we were doing easily 25 miles an hour, and this guy is spinning 360, and but not only spinning 360, like sidewinding through people, and it was nuts to watch him. And he had like this massive, and like launching up, it was just watching like a ballerina performance, and we're all just like deer in headlights. I'm just like watching this guy go by. I'm like, was that real? I was like, was that real life?
I'm going to throw in a shameless plug here a little bit. My next video is the Vegas Strip one, and I've got footage from the RC car and the transitions that are going to be done. I'm trying to do that tomorrow, so just saying, little shameless plug.
The other dude, Scott, the other dude you hooked up with, Scott, was the guy who rode the Stella around Red Rock.
Same guy. That's the summer board
same guy.
It was the same guy.
So I lent on the Stella, because he didn't have enough range on the summer board. So he said, "Is there a board I can use?" 30 miles around Red Rock, and he's out there and he's kick pushing. 17. He was kick pushing around there to make sure he can make it all the way, and he was just bombing it all day long. It's just amazing. Anyway,
I was really impressed with the guy with the dog flying through the
Vegas.
I never seen that in my life.
Man, that was the first night ride, right? That was the bike ride.
The bike ride, yeah. But I think he turned up on the strip night as well.
And one B, one human, one dog.
And he was on the racetrack. He did a couple of laps. He showed up there on the second day.
I missed that.
Me too.
Insane. It's insane. Hey, did you see we've got it in with Red Bull here? Caden Steele. Used to be sponsored.
Caden. I was sponsored by Red Bull back in the day, and still in contact with my contacts within the company. I still talk to my brother Jared from Eastgate Canada. Ooh. And we'll talk Scott. There you go, buddy.
Jared's one of our boys. We hooked up with Jared. He's an awesome guy.
He's coming on soon. He'll be on shortly. All right. So is that the end of our Eastgate Con wrap up?
I think.
Any last thoughts, words? Are we all going next year?
Oh my god! What kind of question is that?
I was going to say, it's
All right.
The Wolfpack has to be there. Come on.
We're gonna go for the team award.
House party.
I think it's gonna be even crazier next year, because hopefully we can plan something a little bit differently next year.
If you can see it,
exactly.
The countdown is on. 320 days to go. Let's go.
All right, let's move on really quickly. I want to talk about Meepo. Do you know why I want to talk about Meepo?
It's because I think they're releasing another board, another board that they have namelessly announced yet.
Yep. So let me just see if it's on my screen. Give me 2
It's a
seconds.
very interesting launch effect, which is really interesting, very engaging for the community. I like it.
It is very cool.
Yeah. So they're doing guess your price, and they're doing name the board, which is cool. I mean, they're just saying there it's going to be the something NLS3, which we all know stands for next level skateboard. What I find really interesting, let me just go. I'm operating on one screen here, so give me 1 second. What I find really interesting is, let me just go up here, is when you get down to the stats or the specs. Big motors, they look like the same motors as the Voyager. So if you click on there and you zoom in, they've got the same ribs, it looks like if they're not the same motors, they're definitely from the same manufacturer. But here's the big one, Hobbywing 9028. So they're leaving Lingy for this particular board. They're dipping their feet back in Hobbywing. They tried it once before with the Mini 2, I think it was. And that's where the whole meme came from of, that's disgusting. That's Kieran was saying, you're having to bend down, turn your board on. That's disgusting. So 9028 is obviously a very popular ESC. I don't know if we all know that, but it's kind of what everyone's using at the moment. It's the flavor of the month.
Yep.
What are you guys' thoughts on the look of the board? What do you think the price will be, and do you have any suggestions for the name? Drew?
Well, let's go over the specs here. So what's the full specs here? So battery capacity 362 watt hours, and that's Molicel P42As, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So
12S2P, 12S2P, 21700, 8.4 amp hour, about 2,500 watt motors, but that's kind of relevant as we all know. Range, they're saying 38 kilometers. It's got the really nice 90mm wheels. I love Meepo street wheel. I really do.
The green is a nice touch too. I like the aesthetics is very nice. It's a step away, right? Meepo is always associated with like an orange black situation.
Yeah. So I was talking to Ryan yesterday, their new CEO, and he was saying it's very inspired from California. So it's a California inspired board.
Very nice.
So it's just nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's not orange, right? It's a beautiful. It really does. To me, it looks like a green Voyager, right? And the Voyager was an insane board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the baby Voyager.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and maybe almost as good. So we'll see. So Hobbywing ESC, they're saying top speed 52k an hour. Reverse kingpin, so they're sticking with the reverse. They're not going for TKP. That's interesting. They got a 15-kilometer braking distance, so they're saying 2.5 meters at 15k. That's not the strongest, but it's not bad. I've had a lot worse. It's shipping with the screen remote, which is nice. So the N5S, they're not going for the N3, I think it is. It doesn't have a screen.
Is that the new remote? Is there a M5S, or it should be the N5S? That's a new remote.
No, I think it's N. They do the N one for the NLS. It's got a couple of extra little features in there. I think you can see the volts of the ESC, I think, from memory.
Okay.
So yeah, what are your thoughts? Price and name. Any ideas?
I think it'd have to be, looking at the market at the moment myself, it would have to be the 700 to 850 sort of range US, I would expect.
Yeah.
I think if it's more than that, it may get pushed out a little bit. With the 12S2, it probably is maybe even 650. That's just my thought process on it, but I would expect, and I think I had a guess. I actually put a guess online because, like everybody is, I think I put 699 as my magic number. That's where I'm sitting with that. It's a nice looking little board. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have in your quiver, and I think there'll be a lot of people jumping all over this because Meepo's brand name is synonymous with good quality gear that lasts a long time. So
100%. And what about name? What are we thinking for the name? We're thinking Hulk One Milkshake.
I keep coming back to Elf. I don't know why.
Okay, the Meepo Elf. I like that.
I like
the Meepo Elf. Yeah, but you'd have to spell it A-L-F, right?
Yeah, of course.
Form.
Oh, nice.
No problem. Who remembers the show? Does anyone remember Elf, the TV show?
Alf, yeah.
Alf.
Yeah. Alf, yeah.
Alf. It's American.
Yeah. Yo,
sorry. Alf.
Alf.
Like Greg.
Greg.
All right. What names, guys? Come on, let's get back to it.
I That's a great question. Like California Cruiser, if they're doing it like a California time, like a California Cruiser, like California cruising.
The Meepo Kelly.
Definitely up at the
Meepo Kelly. Oh no. No, not the Meepo Kelly.
No.
Yeah. I think the price I'd agree with Craig about like $700, $699 mark. Yep. I think would be. I'm not saying it's because if it's over it'll be too much, but I think that'd be a really good place to hit it as a market element. And then name Green Hornet.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Yeah.
We got some in the chat here too. Meepo Mojito from Shred the North.
Yes,
Jared. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's nice. Meepo Mojito. I like it.
Meepo
the Goblin.
Mojito.
I like the Goblin. Meepo Goblin.
That'd be amazing.
Green Hornet. That's there as well.
There you go.
And I think in Australia we call it Junior Surfer. A Grommet was another one that someone else said to me the other day.
Oh, Grom.
Yeah, the Grom.
The Grom.
Surfer. Yep.
Normally it has to be short for the Grom, though. I think Grom doesn't.
No. A Grom refers to just a new surfer, just someone that's new, that like a kid, kind of up and coming kid in the sport, like a Grom.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that one too. The Cali Grom, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I've just submitted it, so you can't. What about you? What about you, Eduardo? Eduardo, you make skateboards. What would you cost the board at? How much do you know it would cost?
Yeah, $720 ish US.
Okay.
Using molly cells and good specs, I think so. It would be hard to be below 600. So 700.
700-ish.
I saw 6 months warranty. It would be nice to see 12 months warranty.
Yeah, 6 months is low. I was surprised at that. I think it's quite short.
A bit short.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, moving on really quickly. Next one, Virreal. Have you guys seen this?
No.
It's just the short board. I think I saw a glimpse of it.
This thing popped up out of nowhere. It's they're calling it just the Virreal. There's actually no name on it. Sorry, I was about to say what it's called. There's no name. Really interesting little board. It's only 30 inches long, so it's actually quite short. It's actually really short. It's 29 point something. But interesting specs again. So 12S, 8 amp hour, 345 watt hour, 40 amp discharge. They're using the 10C cells, so they're using the Samsung 40T cells, which is awesome. Little kick tail. The motors are in the right spot. They're putting the motors facing inwards instead of outwards, like some boards do.
Yep.
And it's got a bit of a cool look. The enclosures are a bit big for my liking.
I'll say the enclosure's a little boxy. They could have rounded that off a little bit, but no,
I think that's just a bad angle. Like if you look at it from other angles, it doesn't look as bad. Actually, it does. It is boxy. Yeah. I thought I saw a different photo
as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. The nice thing with Virreal, though, and I know some people have issues with Virreal. They've had issues with Virreal quality in the past. They 90% of the time they're pretty good, and Vic, the owner, is pretty responsive. Like if you've got a legitimate issue or concern, there's not normally too much he won't help you with if it's legitimate. You know, if you've run it off the side of a thing into a pond or into a lake, it's not going to be covered. But I don't know, this board looks pretty fun. I like the grip tape. The grip tape's really different. It hasn't gone with the typical like what everyone else is doing right now. And the shape's different. And the shape's different as well. It's not an OEM deck. It's something that they've done themselves. Offering it with grey cloud wheels and also offering it with a 6 amp fast charger for a mini board, which is really interesting.
That's pretty big, actually.
That's pretty big. 6 amps is massive for a small board.
It would charge that battery, I reckon, about an hour and a half.
Easily.
Yeah, easy. I reckon. Yeah, that's awesome. It's really good. It's something completely different, I suppose. And I think this is the good thing about it at the moment. A lot of people started to push the boundaries a little bit and coming back at those mini boards because the mini boards are great. I mean, there's a lot of young people we need to get into the sport, and it's a great space to be working to keep more people interested. So good job to Virreal.
Yeah, it's interesting. I will have it, and I think he's going to send one over, so I should have one in a couple of weeks. So we'll be able to actually see if it works the way it should. I love a good mini board. I love popping the front up and having a bit of fun.
No, absolutely.
Right, couple of comments there. It's inspired by it does look, the battery enclosure does look really similar to I don't know how to pronounce that. Udia. Anyway.
Oh,
yeah. Had that looked like a lunchbox. You could pop out the battery. I remember seeing that.
Let's go with udder, like a cow's udder.
Yeah, done.
One thing I actually said in my last bit I filmed just actually a couple hours ago for one of my videos coming out. I was saying like for me, obviously charging cycles all different amp hours, which is great. But I said like the Goldilocks is roughly 3 to 4 hours. If you can get 3 to 4 hours on the charging cycle, that's exactly what. No matter what the battery size, if you can get that kind of window, that's really kind of helpful. Unless you've got something massive, then you don't need it to charge that fast. But yeah, I think 3 to 4 hours is like the Goldilocks charging time.
Exactly.
So if you're around there, it's perfect.
Yep. Eduardo, and I don't know if this is public knowledge, and you can just go like this if you don't want to talk about it. You've had a mini board in your shop now for a while.
Oh man.
Don't move.
Oh,
Are we ever going to see it for sale?
Look at that.
Look at it. Look at those trucks. I've ridden that once and I fell in love with it. And it had a horrible enclosure on it there. Now it's got a proper enclosure.
That's
look at
cool,
that deck.
man.
Direct drive, molly cell. Is it a Vesk still or is it a hobby wing?
You can choose both. It's a 12S3P molly cell.
12S3. Wow, okay.
It's super powerful.
And that's all.
Nice.
The best. Yeah, somebody called it a pocket rocket.
The pocket rocket.
Yeah.
Light. It goes. Yeah, it's a nice little board.
I love that.
I saw it in Sydney when I was up at the factory last year, and I said, "Why haven't I seen that? And why haven't I had it?"
Yeah,
community like it as well.
You're behind me, Craig. I'm still waiting for it. Son of a bitch.
I love the grip tape as well. I think grip tape's missed on Eastgate. Like I think me and my partner joke about if it's not hexagon, is it really Eastgate? But I love the grip tape on that. That's really nice.
Yeah, that looks fantastic, mate.
It's a great little board.
Don't act like you were here, Drew. You were here the whole time. Just come back. Yeah, that looks great, man.
That looks fantastic. Yeah.
So when's it? Is it going to be? So here's the question though: is it going to be for sale?
I think so. I should bring it to market. Yeah, has been sitting here for a month.
You should.
You've got 3 comments. You've got 3 comments here straight away saying, "Wow, that looks good. Looks great. How much is it? Very cool. Do you need a test rider?" So come on.
It's exactly the same specs as the Bamboo V series. It's just a different deck. It's compacted into a mini deck. Really, it's a 12S3P.
Yeah.
You have the V series or the.
I don't know of any 12S3P shortboards that I can think of.
There's one. There's a couple. There's a couple that are about to be released. Watch the space. Watch the space.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Exactly. All right, Eduardo, I'm going to let you go now because we're going to move on to Ace Deck and we're going to get Jared in. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. It was awesome.
Have an awesome day.
Take care. TRANZITE coming to America.
America.
Yeah. TRANZITE USA.
America.
No, 9 is silent.
Break approved.
See you guys.
Thanks, Eduardo. See you, buddy.
Talk soon, buddy.
All right, guys. We're almost there. I think we're going to move on really quickly. Have a chat about Ace Deck. Let me just find my screen and stuff.
The new dominating force everywhere.
They really are, man. Like they are. They're doing it. Like they've come in with the right back end. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my screen. Here we go. They've come in with the right back end. They've spent the money where they need to spend it. They've got good customer service. They're listening to riders, which is the big thing for me.
Yep.
I think they had one little, and I've said this publicly, I think they had one little speed bump with the Stella where they didn't make it themselves, but they've redeemed themselves now with the Stella, whatever they're calling this, the Stella 2 or the Stella Pro. I can't remember what it's called.
It's the Mini.
Stella Mini. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, amazing brand. Like we've seen the MYX, obviously the Nix, and they've already, I don't know if it was done on purpose, but it was leaked their roadmap for the next 12 months. They've got like eight new boards coming out.
Yeah,
they've got this one. Yep. They've got what looks to be like a street board alternative, which is looking really cool. Like one to compete with like the Backfires and the Meepos and that.
Yep. I think that's a Stella S3, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to call it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They've got the four-wheel drive direct drive coming out, which looks very similar to it looks like it's inspired by the Wraith boards.
Right there, series, yep.
It looks really, really exciting. So, what do you guys? What was your guys' take on Ace Deck? At Eastgate Con, you tried them. You got to see other riders who have bought them. I think they represented really well, even though they weren't there as a vendor.
In all honesty, I'm going to say it straight up. Obviously, my history with eCruise allowed me to have a bit of a close contact with Ace Deck, the brand. Mate, Scott, you around banging around the streets of Vegas on the NYX Z1 was just, I couldn't keep up with it a lot of the time. It was amazing, that board. And Jared from Canada with his one as well on the racetrack was just next level. And Drew,
it's Canadian.
Drew got us Canadian, and Drew taking second place in the club.
Second place. What?
Second place. What? It just showed how good they were as a brand, as a product, and how, I suppose, fast they were structurally. Everything else, they're just really, really good. And I've got a little bit of a drop. I actually purchased this exact board last night.
Really?
This one, the mini.
Yep, I've put my cash on the line. I'm buying I wanted a mini board, and I was going to wait for another brand to come out with one. And I saw this yesterday, and I went, you know what, Bombing, I'm buying it. Air freighted to me. Get it here. I want to play.
Nice. Oh,
good on you.
So, yeah,
really like the enclosure. Really like the artwork.
Nice. I haven't actually seen this yet. Actually,
it's a 13.2. It's going to be a fast little toy. And I think all three of them, the Stella, this, and the S3 are all 13.2.
Oh, wow.
So
I hope they put some sort of artwork or writing on their wheels. The wheels look a bit.
Yeah,
some people like plain. This is a computer generated thing. I hope they have the Deck logo on the wheels because it will make it look nice.
Just any decal or like a ring or something.
Exactly. But the shape of it is insane. It reminds me of the Batmobile. It just got like a Batwing tail on it.
Yeah,
it's got the Batwing tail.
That side one as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So they're saying 35k range. It's belt drive, 13S2P, 40T cells, multi-layer composite deck. It's using the same ACE. It's using the 50 amp S, which I think is the one that's in the Stella currently, which is an insane ESE. Forged reverse king ping trucks, max low 100 kilos. Yeah, it's going to be so cool. It's going to be a really fun board.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's perfect for what I want for my mini board. I've always wanted a mini board. I haven't had one, and this is going to be the piece that's going to do it. I'm so stoked to be knowing this is on the way soon. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Cool. All right, now let's welcome in our next guest. You can just keep talking. I'm just going to bring in our next guest. It's our. I'm gonna call our next guest. He's the Mr. Chow of the Wolfpack. He came in a little bit later. He wasn't an original member. He wasn't an original member, but he's here now. Let me just get my screen right.
Great guy, great bloke.
He was all right. I wouldn't go too crazy. Where's my? I'm bugging up my screen now, guys. Hang on. There we go. There he is. All right, there's Jared. All right, so bottom. So this is Jared. Jared, how do you pronounce your surname?
French.
Oh, it is. Okay, sweet. Easy. Okay. So Jared is from Canada. Jared drove from Canada to Vegas for Eastgate Con. He brought his Stella. Aries, X1. And
yes, sir.
You liked it so much. You've got some exciting news.
Yeah, I'm just so honored and grateful to be just representing Deck in Canada. So I get to just show everybody what this is all about and bring them all the joy that we've been feeling.
So don't sell yourself short. You're not just an ambassador. You are Deck Canada, right?
Deck Canada, yeah. So I'm in charge of bringing the sport to Canada for Deck. Yeah,
nice.
So if you're in Canada, awesome, what boards are you going to be carrying? What boards do you have in stock already?
So I have the NYX in stock. I have some Stellas. The Nomads are on their way and just can't wait for that. And then there's going to be the 2023 Aries that's on its way as well. And these new Stella models, the S3 and the Mini, they'll be here as well. So
awesome.
A full complement, that's for sure. Yeah,
that's
good to see you guys again.
Yeah, man, 100%. Totally. 100%.
I'd like to congratulate Drew one more time on your.
Stop it! This guy. How do I get rid of this off the screen? Oh God! Let me just remove it. Hang on.
Too much.
He doesn't need it. He does not need it.
Biting these heels next year. I'm not going to get taken out in a practice lap.
So, Jared, really quickly, website is just acedeck.ca. Is that right?
acedeckboards.ca.
Acedeckboards. Thank you. That's what I'm asking.
Yes, sir.
And as far as shipping times, you ship out next day,
James,
same day?
RC, by the way. Just say that.
Yeah, right away. I mean, when we have them in stock, we'll send them right out. And depending on where you are in Canada, you'll get it probably within 5 to 10 days.
Okay. And what's the shipping charges like for you to ship around Canada?
It depends. Like it's if you're going to ship all the way to the East Coast, like we're sort of closer to the West Coast. We're the next province over from British Columbia. So if you're going all the way east, you'll probably look at a couple $100.
Okay, but it's a lot quicker. But it's way quicker than getting it from China, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been demoing boards here, and it's just such a pleasure to spread the love. You know,
yeah, I've seen you. I've been following Instagram. It looks like you've already converted a few people into Ace Deck. I've seen lots of new owners walking out with the MYXs and Stellas.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been really good.
What's your
as well? It's he converted the car as well, isn't he? He's got the
yes, it does.
Yeah,
it does.
I love it. Yeah. We're gonna be going to a bunch of snowboarding events and things like that, and because it's obviously a big cross trainer, so yeah, it's just gonna be really good. Snowboarding's huge here, just like surfing is huge in Australia, so it's an easy thing for people to hold on to, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And out of all the boards, you've probably ridden them all now, and you know what's coming. What would you say is your favorite?
Oh, I get asked that all the time. I mean, the NYX is just a beast, and it can do anything. And so I just put bindings on it for the first time a few nights ago, and that was a total game changer.
Okay.
Things are, yeah, you like that, Tom?
You need to get bindings life all the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna be exploring that. I really love the Aries. I can't wait for the Nomad. I love the snappy nature of those types of boards. You know, you can still, like, I shredded my tires on the Knicks, just shredded. Oh, there she is! Look at that.
Yeah, Ace Deck mobile.
Yeah, woo woo.
If you see me honk, baby. You see me honk.
Oh, funny.
No, I saw Jared. I saw on the Instagram. I mean, if you're not following Jared already on Shred the Nail on Insta, man, you've been just bombing the car parks and just getting the slides on the NYX. Like, I haven't seen anybody on that sort of board before. You are killing it. It's so much fun to watch.
Oh, thanks, man.
Keep them coming. I love it.
Yeah, that new armor that I bought has been coming in handy. I got to tell you. Holy cow. Riding with armor, you just bounce right off and you get back up. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you bought it. I'm glad you bought some.
Yeah. Well, here's the bloody bib. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's the bloody bib.
We can see it.
Oh
yeah. Let me get full screen. Hang on. Let me give you a full screen so they can. Yeah, there it is. Oh, there's the blood. Yeah.
There it is. There's the blood on it.
Yep. There's your hat, bud. There's your hat.
I must commend Jared. So Jared jumped on. He was racing the same class as me too, and he was in our heats and definitely in finals too. There were several times where Jared passed me. Like, my board, I was just keeping my line. Jared would come up because he had the NYX. He would just blow by me. And I just remember thinking, especially was that last back end straightaway, and he whipped around me. I go, he's going to crash, and right head over heels, flew over the thing. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I hope he's okay. But yeah, dude, that
NYX is a fast board. It is a fast board. For a production board, it's a really fast board.
Yeah.
But it shows how high the standard's going up, though. The standard of boards is going way up there now.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, Drew, I'm sorry. Jared, how many times did you actually crash during qualifying, practice, and everything else? Because it wasn't just once.
No, it was plenty of times, and it was the same hay bale that took you out. You know, that one turn just kept calling me out.
It was a sharp turn. It was a humbling turn, I can tell you that much.
I know Kerry took some video footage of my crash and came up to me after you'd crashed into that same hay bale, and so did Silent Ghost Reaper, and he said to me, yeah, yours wasn't that great. Just destroyed me completely. So I think you took the win for hay bale of the day. That's for sure.
Man, I remember coming up behind Drew on the inside, and we were so close. I could smell your cologne, man. Like, I was just like, we were just right there.
That's why it wasn't cologne, that was body odor.
Drew's pheromones.
No, it was intense. I've never raced before in my Eastgate career, and then hopping on the track there, that was definitely a wild experience to be a part of, and like meeting friends and making friends like you, and being able to meet racers and stuff like that was part of the whole journey. Acquaintances. I'm sorry, acquaintances. Yeah.
Colleagues.
But it was one of those situations where that was an unforgettable experience by far, and I'm looking forward to trying whatever is going to happen next year, and hopefully just not dying, is like I kept saying. So that's all I want to do.
Oh man. Yeah, I just gotta say too, like the whole sorry, Scott, the whole Eastgate thing, like Craig, man. I mean, I feel you. Like, it just changed me too. It changed the way I look at the sport. It just changed yeah, like it was an emotional time. Like, so it was just an amazing event. I just wanted to put that out there. I just changed me, man.
I agree.
So happy to be part of this industry.
Yeah. I think all of us are kind of anyone that went to that event. I think the positivity and like the community and the camaraderie and as a whole weekend was just that. I think everyone's really coming off of cloud nine, coming back home, and I know I felt a little bit of that hangover feel afterwards. They were like, oh, coming back down to reality, but it's something to look forward to every year. It's something to keep growing and pushing forward, and like you said, to bring back and have in your community and be able to spread your stoke in your community and be able to grow your community to hopefully, you do maybe next year you have 3 or 4 more friends come with you, and that's just how it grows over and over again. So that's where RVs. I think 2 RVs. Yeah, 2 RVs. There you go.
Someone said before in the chat actually said the Ace-mobile.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So exactly. Canadian contingent.
Canadian doesn't know what's hit it. That's for sure.
Drew, where's the Nomad N1 review?
Yeah. So that was a nice lead into the next video. Cyprus Racing, it's coming. Basically, there was obviously delays with Las Vegas, as everyone knows. We were supposed to have them in Vegas, but the Hong Kong customs screwed us over big time. One board made it on the day we left. So James from Inboards gracefully went and picked it up and picked up the batteries, and actually, I think he built it at Inboards and then shipped it to Drew's. So Drew's got his. Mine then had to get returned from Hong Kong back to China, had to get rebuilt because they pulled it apart in Hong Kong, had to get rebuilt, and then it's been shipped to me. So all our videos are almost ready. Ace-Tech have done something a little bit different, and I actually agree with this in some point. I think it's actually a smart move. They want us to hold our reviews until they've got a heap of stock ready to ship, because they don't want to be one of these brands that the reviews come out, people order them, and then they're waiting 2 months for the board to get made in production and shipped out. So the reviews are coming really soon. I've got a really nice little video here from Drew, which we're going to watch right now. So I haven't watched this yet, so we're going to chuck it up. Hope it's not shit.
This is a world exclusive.
World exclusive. Just going to pause it and let it load, because sometimes these things get a bit staggery. So just give us 2 seconds. Right now we'll hit play. Here we go. Hope it's good, Drew. Whoa, that's pretty.
It's a beautiful board, man.
Look at that. Right?
They really did a fantastic job with this board.
Who did you pay to do this?
Fiverr.
Chat GPT.
Yeah, AI driven.
AI.
Okay, this is actually a world exclusive for the Nomad of Drew, an average rider on a skateboard. Really not a pro rider.
That's not even me riding, actually.
Average rider. He came. Did I tell you that he got a medal at Eastgate Con?
Yeah, I got a second place.
Oh, is that where you came in? I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually one of my really good friends, Dan Ludwig, who is basically my stunt double for a lot of my videos. Because if I do a video that I have to shoot with, he comes out there. He's addicted to speed, and
that's so good.
I will say that this board humbled him, and I'll talk a little bit more maybe after the fact, but it was.
I'm happy to let it play out, guys. I love this. I'm happy to let it play.
See if you can hear this.
Nice.
That's the next shot. Yeah, listen to this.
Oh.
Symphony.
That's a nice shot.
Alright, good.
We've lost 5 viewers since I pushed play on this, Drew.
Yeah, they're all on the computer to go pre-order.
Yeah, everyone's ordering, exactly, yeah.
I was gonna say, someone said it, because I think I'm about to order this one, so.
Skateboard.ca.
Yeah, that's it.
Jared's like, where's mine?
Oh man, I can't wait.
For the one person that just joined, we're looking at the world exclusive of Nomad N1.
Man, that's so nice.
I mean, it's a bit average. I've seen better. It's no Casey Neistat. right. Wow.
There you go. So that's
Pretty
that's the
amazing.
world premiere of the Ace Deck Nomad N1. Hope you
Yeah.
guys enjoyed that. That was,
nice.
very
That was
exclusive.
good.
Man,
So
that-
the noise,
great.
yeah, the noise is that thing's absolutely insane. It's a rocket. It's a jet engine. It's literally one of the most powerful boards I've been on to date. I mean, even when the NYX, getting on the NYX, I think it's the same ESA from the NYX, but something about the gearing and the motors and the way the board bounces, this thing is a literal rocket. I'm 100 kilos, 220 pounds. It is. I can't from a standstill. I can't full throttle it and on S plus mode and take off. It's actually almost impossible for me. I have to have like a 1 to 2 mile little coast roll and then I can gun it. But you're from 0 to top end speed in like less than 4 or 5 seconds. It's
I find it
an
interesting with
absolute
the noise because the NYX Z1 is so quiet,
Silent.
and that's
this is their new gear drive. This is their new.
This is the totally new gear drive. Yeah.
Yeah, they brought out two new gear drives, and this is more aimed towards the race sort of race spec gear drive system. So it is noisier. It's got different cut teeth. A whole different construction from the NYX gear drive.
Yeah, it's
Andrew,
I can go ahead.
No, I was just saying, how did you feel about the whole inspired tires for the
Hood inspired. So
cool.
the beautiful thing about that is actually, and I've had a lot of questions, a lot of people coming in comment section, stuff like that. But it's so it's their new vacuum seal tire. So it's supposed to be puncture resistant. Let's just put that in quotations. It still requires air, but you can go from 0 to 12 or 15 psi, and it actually gives a completely different squared off shape to the tire. And then anything like from that 15 to 28 max end, it actually raises the middle up and it gives you like a curved hump to the tire. Okay. So I've been riding it pretty much around, like, I think the max is 28 psi. Anything above 30 is like it's crazy, but I've been running between that like 26-ish psi. I'm always like 2 or 3 psi below the recommended just because I like a little bit more grip, and it doesn't disappoint at all. I mean, this thing has got tons of grip, incredible stability, and the power. On the S Plus mode, it is like, it's almost laughable. Like so my friend Dan actually was in that video there, and I don't know if he's watching right now, but I'll shout him out. He said it was the most humbling board he's ever stepped on, and I'm not gonna lie, he fell the first time he was on it. So I challenged him because he's a speed gear. He's just speed head. So he's been on a bunch of my boards with me, and he's always like top gear as fast as he possibly goes. He's got a Hurricane with a geared out system on that as well. And so he jumps on his board, and I was like, I challenge you in S Plus to go ahead and take off. So he does it. He guns it, and I was like, damn. I was like, how the hell did you do that? And he comes back, he goes, like, yeah, that was pretty quick. And I look at him like, oh no, dude, you're in S mode. I'm like, you're not in the top mode. So I click it over to top mode. He's like, this can't be that bad. He's like, if that happened, he guns it. I wasn't recording the time. He takes off like a bat out of hell, and I'm like, he got off the line. I'm like, I've never gotten off the line like this, and he all of a sudden just goes boom and just falls off, and he had full gear on, thank God, helmet, pads, and like that, and just slid on his knees. But he came off that board and goes, that was the most power I've ever felt out of any board he's ever ridden. I was like, wow, all right, well, that's a testament to itself. So and I would agree. I think from a standstill, this board is absolutely nuts, and I'm still working on bits and pieces of the review to put it all together. But as you saw there in the intro there, it's fantastic. I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. And price per spec, I think if you're looking at anything else right now, it's really hard to compete with that. I think they did a very good job with that board. So
I'm really glad they've innovated with the tires on them, because I think tires is so lacking in the Eastgate scene. So having a new tire type and a flat contact patch, especially that speed you're saying, makes such a difference.
It's a race board.
This is what I was saying about Ace Deck before. They've come in, they've done it right. They've spent them, but they haven't gone in, except for the Stella. I keep saying it, except for the Stella, they've come in, they've built their own stuff. You know, they're doing such a good job. They've programmed their own ESCs. They're making their own gear drives. Yeah, sure, they're inspired by other things. Yeah, everything is these days, but they're making their own decks. They're making their own this. You know, it's for me, it's the real deal.
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say this, but Ace Deck came in with a new kid on the block and had their big eggplant swinging when they came in, and they just dropped it on the table and showed it off to the world. I mean, CNC trucks, Molicel P42, they were the first ones to kind of do that 14 to high voltage 14S series, and their carbon fiber boards. They just really did. They like even a further backstory. My very first time actually riding was in Vegas. I'd never ridden in Aries. One other time I've ridden in Aries, but I stepped on the Aries for the Ace Deck when I was in Vegas. It was the very first time I've ever actually ridden one, and I think I put like close to 65 or 70 miles on that board that week before I even started racing on Saturday. Just all the group rides and just kind of riding around town. And I was blown away. I mean, I was blown away by just like being able to get on there and that level of comfortability with everything. So the power, the specs, the battery range was insane. I just think they did a great job. And like I said, they came swinging for the fences, and they really did. They knocked it out of the park when it comes to their top tier of stuff. So
there's no Cypress Racing. There's no flex because it's a solid carbon fiber battery enclosure underneath.
Correct. Yeah. So the split angle, that 8 degree up front, 8 degree in the back, and with that hard carbon fiber, there is literally no flex. And then the W concave to it, there's a nice big hump in the middle there, but that hump is really kind of centered toward. So where your feet planted, it really does like lock you in, and you need it. You need every inch of it when you're going on S+ to hunker down, lean forward, and gun it there.
Yeah.
Watch this, guys. S+ mode. Wait.
One question here from Bonehead Hunter. I think it is Bone. Yeah. Just will this become a more regular thing? That's a question for the group. Do we want to do this regularly, like once every 8 weeks or 6 weeks, or when there's something new to talk about?
Yeah. I mean,
cool.
Why not?
We can share the love and do it around different channels, which is nice.
Yes, that'd be cool. Yeah, we'll do that and catch up and see everyone's been working on, and have like a like community updates everyone's working on.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Exactly. Really quickly before you guys, so we have to wrap up soon. We've been going for a while. Wheels. Who's received these?
Mine are on my way. I just just got in contact with iCloud.
So basically, it's the Hydro wheel, but with the Cloud wheel dampening.
How squishy is it? Squeeze it. Give me a little ASMR squeeze on there.
It's not that squeezy. It's not that squeezy.
That is the thumbnail. Leave it there. Those are really nice.
The drainage ones, yeah.
Try them.
That looks
the new back tires. And again, these are soft, man.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Cool,
like Mad Wheel soft?
Yeah.
Yeah.
120 mil. I mean, I'm not a fan of the chrome, to be honest. Where's my face? I'm not a fan of the chrome.
No, bling my thing. I think that looks hot. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 120 is big. That's a really big street tire esque or pneumatic replacement for a street tire. That's large.
Yeah. And I'm wondering 62A Drometer.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's really solid.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. You can use that too. Bling my thing.
Bling my thing.
Yeah.
that might be the OnlyFans version.
That'll pay for the next Vegas trip for all of us.
Ooh. See, Greg, Scott, I'm Bling my thing.
Scott, say deck one more time.
Deck. All right, guys.
There's no
for the people watching, are there any last questions for the guys? Jared, Tom, Greg, Drew.
Great.
Just because we talked about those wheels, just because I need to.
Who have we lost? Oh, we lost Tom. Here he is.
This is coming up on. I know you guys have done that. This board is.
I love this board.
Oh, X.
Oh, I haven't ridden it yet. Did the unboxing today.
It is.
I rode that through. I rode that through the party district of Brisbane, and the amount of people who were like, "Whoa, I want that! What is that? Oh my god!" It's such a fun board.
It's something about those lights and just the ambiance it puts off.
I was going to say it is 100%. Exactly what I was about to say.
100%. It's such a beautiful design board, and the deck is flexy enough. The power is. I mean, I don't have the X. I have the S2, but it is even the S2. We got to ride both in New York City, and it was absolutely same thing. But we were riding around sitting. People like New York is one of those places where when you can be as weird as you want and no one acknowledges you whatsoever. But when you're riding through Times Square with two boards that are like completely like Tron illuminated and we're whipping through traffic, people are just stopping and pointing. Like it was absolutely incredible to see that. But they are Backfire really did step up into a totally different class there. I agree. I think that board is top notch, and it's hard to compete. I think that a lot of other companies are playing a little catch up on that.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
So you go.
I haven't seen it yet. I mean, no one down here has got one. I just watching your videos in awe at the moment. It's just they look so good.
It's beautiful.
So
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
it's cool.
So nice.
I'll watch that.
I have the brand new Hoyt Tabor. Do you want me to grab that real quick?
Yeah, let's see it.
I showed you
All
my
right,
deck. Get your deck out.
Yeah, I'm gonna whip my deck out. Give me 2 seconds.
And then we've got to end.
And then we got to end. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
No, take time. There you go.
I have to run all the way downstairs. You'll hear me yelling. My children will be down here.
That's hilarious.
That was so good, Scott. It was so much fun.
Now I'm in a conundrum because I went to you. I was like, "Oh, Scott, this board's like trying to say, yeah, that's what I've done." I've gone, no.
I tried to find a really like dodgy cheap Tron costume, but they didn't exist, unfortunately.
No, you did it proper.
Yeah.
Now I have to walk 3 flights back up and be sweating by the time I get up here.
This is where I'm going to go with mine.
Ah, nice,
Nice.
nice. I like it.
Yeah. Poor Drew saying I've got to walk up 3 flights of stairs.
Oh
That's
my God,
what
I'm
happens when you
winded.
live in a mansion, Drew.
I'm winded.
Yeah,
I was on the east veranda there. Whew, I was
East
on the,
veranda. On the garden wing.
Oh yeah, I hate
Garden.
you so much more now.
Yeah, it's
Oh
so
my God.
nice.
Yeah.
I hate this man so much more now.
donut
That's pretty.
wheels, 5-inch wheels. It's
It's pretty.
It's
It's
Oh,
funny.
is there a scrape on the enclosure? Is that the one I rode?
the bottom of the enclosure.
Yeah, on one
Is that
side.
you?
Yes, me.
That's you.
Oh, Thomas.
I was doing a turning on the board. I don't know. You weren't there, and they're saying like, "Does it have wheel bar?" I'm like, no. Wait, I can really test that if you really want me to. And I literally got enclosure bike because I literally was like on the spot. Such a fun board, it really is.
Yeah, I've been riding this all day long. This thing it's fun. It's definitely fun. Oh, let me show it again.
Have you got the UAV as well?
Oh yeah, UAV is on the floor right here.
I hate you even more.
Hold on. Wait a minute, ready?
All right.
You know what's even funnier is that it's even there's a UAV.
Oh,
No, we're gone all full Hoyt fanboy in here now. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Settle
I
down.
know.
Settle down.
My dad.
It's not a fanboy. It's not a
Hold on, let me keep
Me
going.
Too
Here's the Meepo Mini 5. Let's just
Woo!
what else can I put in my magic house?
stop
No,
comparing deck sizes.
Yeah,
sorry. It's not about
Yeah.
the deck size. It's the motion on the ride, guys.
exactly.
Anyways.
All right, let's end it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, Jared. Oh no, Jared's getting something out. Oh, Jared's getting the MYX out. There we go.
NYX.
I just
Yeah,
wanted a
yeah.
big deck, just a big deck.
Yeah, you said to compete.
Got mine here, right here, Jared, mate.
There you go.
I love it. I've got one now, so one of my own, which is nice to have here too.
Oh man.
All right, gang.
Here.
Thank you
Good
so
to
much for
see you
watching. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Comment on this video if you want us to do it regularly. We can do this regularly. There's no reason why we can't. We can do it monthly, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, or just when there's something new to talk about. Put your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to these guys' channels. I'll put their link below. Drew, what's your Ace Deck discount code?
It is Ace Drew.
Ace Drew. It should be like
Ace
second
Drew.
place Drew, but anyway, all right, Ace Drew. So if you're looking, if you just watched Drew's beautiful trailer and you want to buy it, make sure you use Ace Drew to support Drew's channel. And if you didn't like it, use Scott D because that supports my channel.
And don't forget to jump onto Jared and go to, if you're in Canada or Canada,
AceDeckBoard.ca.
or
That's
in
it.
their native
Gotcha.
language, it's
All right, guys, let's end it there. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next video.
Cheers, guys.
Ride safe, guys.
Wait a second, could it be? And now I know for sure. I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack. 4 of us wolves running around the desert together in Las Vegas, looking for
Scotty. Who's Scotty?
Well, legends, today we're just going to get smack into it. Day 1.
Right, so that's right. Coming to Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby. Just spotted my travel companion, Craig Taylor, right there. Vancouver, down to Vegas. Dreams. So here we are at the Llama Ride, which is actually going to be the event for Eastgate Con.
Right, so we are out with the face your local riding.
We're out here in the middle of the desert.
Nevada desert, like a tiny little taste of what's coming up.
What? Hey, you should.